I think it's time for a face reveal.
Get ready for a major remodel, fellas. We're back in hardware mode.
Hello everybody, my name is Atlas M, as you all know. Well, yeah, I think it's about time. I'm going to take this off now. Hi, everybody. I decided to do a face reveal finally, which you guys have been requesting. Why did I do a face reveal? Well, yesterday, the day that I'm recording this, I went to Wings of Fire Fanwing Fest, and I brought this thing that I've been all working on for since December. I finally finished it enough time for Wings of Fire Fanwing Fest. I wanted to finally show my face because I've been doing a lot more things out lately. This was my first convention I ever went to. It was really fun and I got to meet a lot of people there. I'll stick you back on here. He looks better with it. But why did I do a face reveal? I want to do more stuff, cosplay related, and I want to show that obviously, but it's kind of hard for me to do that while I'm trying to hide myself. So finally making this video, I can take that off my shoulders. I also want to do a face reveal because of my friend Gojira 2009. He already did a face reveal. I can now do that with him finally. If you guys saw my latest video that I posted, that short, I went to Wings of Fire Fanwing Fest in the Twin Cities, and I went there without something to cover my face because I would look like a criminal. Just kidding. But I went there, it was really fun, and there was a lot of cool people that I met there, and people who actually now know my face, who now watches the channel. Shout out to you if I met you at Fanwing Fest. Who knows? I also wanted to talk about my experience at Fanwing Fest because it was really fun. You can see me there, and I'll have a bunch of pictures that I'll pull up. So I went to the Fanwing Fest in the Twin Cities, the first one, and I decided to also bring this, which you guys probably already saw. This is the X-07 Falcon from Captain America Winter Soldier, repainted to look like Glory. I had a lot of fun. I brought this. Got a lot of people really liked it. So it was around 9 in the morning when I first got to the convention, and there was a huge line of people. So that was fun. I stayed maybe an hour or 45 minutes waiting in line. It was pretty fun. When I got to the front of the building, there was this nice booth for taking pictures with the Wings of Fire logo. Photo booth was a background of the Winter Turning book. I asked somebody to take a picture of me in front of it. And when I first got into the building, I was really scared because I had some problems earlier when I first got my ticket, but I talked to the people who were hosting it, and they said I was good, but I was still a little nervous. They asked for my name, which I'm not going to say, but some of you guys might know, depending on if you were there at the fest or not. Who knows? But I went in, they asked for my name, I got my lanyard wherever it went. I got my lanyard, and I don't know if you guys can see, there you go. I got the Mudwing lanyard, and after that they gave me the Wings of Fire Dragonite Prophecy limited edition that was already pre-signed by Tui, and it comes with this really nice looking bookmark. Look at that. That's cool. This was one of the main reasons why I also came, because it's signed by Tui. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I saw a bunch of books I don't have a photo of, but there are just tons of these just laying on behind the table. Really cool. Alongside with the book, you also get the fan art book, which is really nice. I'll probably one day make a video about this, who knows, but it was probably around 9-ish at the convention. It was really crowded, and it was really hard for me to walk around because even with these wings folded up, these would bump into people, and they didn't really like that, so it got really out of control. I was able to walk to the left of the building where there was this little like chill area, like go through the front doors and take a left. There's a place for art. They also had these cool glitter tattoos, I believe it's called. I didn't get one. They also had a little station for making bracelets, which was pretty cool. I also took the time to draw my OC. Also met these 3 girls. They were cool because I talked to them about Wings of Fire, which was honestly one of the best feelings I had. Like, I never had that feeling with anybody else besides my friend. We talked a lot about how we got into this series, which if you guys want to actually know how I got into the series, I might make a video about that. It was really fun. I got to chat with them for a while. I made my OC picture, which you can now see on screen. So that was probably like 10 now after I finished that picture. I walked out. They had a lot of stuff. There was a huge line that went into the room where I did the art actually for the merchandise. It kind of just like wrapped around into like a place that we were doing stuff. There was also a table in the middle of the entire convention for origami, which I thought was cool, but I didn't have the time to do. Near that was also a face painting stand. That was nice to see. But for some reason, I do not know why, but there was like a huge line at the convention. Literally just like cut through the entire building for face painting. I don't know why it was so popular, but it was. I didn't get my face painted. They had a lot of nice photo booths. I took some nice pictures of me in the wingsuit with holding a sloth. I then got in line to meet Tui T Sutherland. I was really nervous when I got up there. Tui was really nice. She really liked this. I couldn't really explain what this was. I think she said that was this some kind of like Transformers thing. But no, the staff were also like rushing to get everybody else's picture. It was a really fun experience getting to finally meet Tui after just like 3 years of being in the fandom. But I got my picture. They also stamped us. I don't know how well you can see that. We pretty much just rushed everybody's pictures. I got some pretty nice ones, I'd say. I just wish I had more time to talk with her, but it's fine. After the pictures with Tui, I then found my friend from school. He was really nice to actually finally get to talk to a person that I knew who was there. There was a lot of cosplayers too, I forgot to mention. Really cool seeing everybody. I saw a lot of people with like Dino Mask. That was fun. My friend had a drink and I was wondering where he got it, so I heard that there was a food truck outside, so went out to go get something to drink because I had money for food, but I was mainly just thirsty. So I waited in line for a while. I saw actually the line was still going on outside, which was kind of crazy to think that there was this many Wings of Fire fans. So after I got my drink, I went back inside. I also checked the time, which was 12:15, which was the costume parade. But when I checked the time, it was 12:18, so I was a little bit late there. So then when I walked back into the convention and went to the chapel area, which the place was hosted at a church, I waited in line with all the amazing looking cosplayers. Then I met this really cool person named Ellie. She had this really cool looking Nightwing cosplay. Here's a picture of me and her. We got to chat and talked about cosplay and how we got into the series. It was really fun. When it was my turn for the costume parade, I was really nervous after I saw Ellie go in front. I did not know what to do, and I accidentally said my full name. Well, that was bad. But I was able to show this off, and everybody cheered when I did this to both wings. It was really fun. I got to show off what this was, but I couldn't explain what it was, which is obviously the XO7 Falcon from Captain America Civil War, and repainted to look like Glory. It was an amazing experience. I wish I did a little bit better though when I was up there. The guy asked me, did I make it? And yes, I did, obviously. Funny thing that actually happened before the costume parade, this wing actually broke. What I mean was the magnet broke. This magnet had completely fallen off and was stuck on this magnet right here, that clips right here, and I could not really fix it. I didn't have emergency supplies to fix this thing, which got to keep that in mind if you're going to a convention with a costume. I was at least able to keep the wing still up because I actually installed another magnet right there. This magnet right here was just to keep it from flopping around because I had that issue for a while. Because it was really weak, most of the time when I was walking, it would just come undone and just hang like that, which was not good. But the rest of the convention, I pretty much walked around with this. This was good enough. Or I even walked with it fully closed. Had a lot of fun doing the costume parade. I wish I had a better chance to explain what this was though. After that, I sat down with my friend again, and we then waited for a while because after the costume parade, everybody kind of left because it wasn't really time. I believe that was the time for Tui to actually be on break from the photo shoots. But I went back to the room with the art supplies and the wall of art, and I made another drawing, and the line from the merchandise was still going, which was kind of annoying because I would bump into people and I was concerned if the wings were going to get damaged or not. Happy that it didn't take that much damage besides the missing magnet. I then drew this dope picture of Peril flying by an F-22 Raptor and an F-35. Here's a picture of it. So after that, I went back inside to the chapel to find my friend. I also got to show around people the picture that I drew before I hung it up. I asked people who would win, like Peril versus an F-22 Raptor, that was fun. Right as that was going to happen, it was now like 1 p.m. now, so this was like when things were starting to like get more fun and exciting. They announced that a special guest was going to actually be there, and this happened to be Joy Ang. You guys know who she is. She's the cover artist for the Wings of Fire books. She got to talk about how she worked with Tui T Sutherland. She got interviewed by the person who hosted the costume parade, and there was this one question that she was asked was what was her favorite thing to draw on. She said unicorns, which honestly I did not know about because honestly I don't really know too much about Joy Yang myself. She said that she liked to draw unicorns, and her second thing is dragons, which I can tell. It was really fun getting to meet these big celebrities from the series. When Joy Ang's interview was finished, we then waited for a while because at like 1:30, I believe, it said on the schedule that Tui was going to be on stage. So me and my friend were sitting down. We kind of had a hard time finding a place to sit because it was really crowded. But I sat down with this. I had to take up a lot of space because this poked people. Not really. But I took a lot of space on the seat, just enough. There's this one time that he actually had to leave, and I was able to open the wing to save his spot, so that was kind of fun. There was a family in front of me that asked like what this was, and they saw me on the costume parade, and I was like, oh yeah, this is from Captain America. When it was time for Tui to come on, it was really loud. It got really loud. Everybody was so supportive of like what she did for the fandom. She was really happy that people were still reading the books. She got to share some information about Book 16, the Hybrid Prince. Being the first ones to hear about Book 16 was honestly really shocking for me. Tui then showed all of us like 5 minutes of what she has in the book, which was honestly really shocking, and it gave me like goosebumps when I first heard like her reading it. It was really cool. I don't know if I can share all this about like what she said because sorry to tell you guys, but she's not going to be sharing what she had to say about Book 16 to the other Fanwing Fest. Because this was the first Fanwing Fest, she was able to share it to us, and I don't know if I can tell you guys about what she had to say about Book 16, but it was definitely like changing. I think I can tell you guys this, that the protagonist for Book 16 is actually going to be Umber. I believed there already has been some leaks by other people. I talked to Cascade the Sea Wing the other day actually, and he said that it was pretty much already leaked that it was probably going to be Umber after the fest, I believe. After she told us that it was going to be Umber, she then explained why she decided to choose Umber, and it made a lot more sense why, because she said that she didn't know what else to really add for the series until she like went back into like the stories, which made a lot more sense. After that, she was then interviewed and given a lot of questions that people actually got to write down on these like large paper scroll things, and some questions were chosen. I do remember like one of the questions was, will Winter ever find true love? Well, that was kind of fun. There's a lot of questions about the series and personal things, but she pretty much just shared book 16, and that was really cool to actually be there to witness that. And she just got interviewed. That was pretty much it. Like after the time, like things had to keep on going. We're all dismissed. We all went back out to the main convention area, and Tui went back to taking photos of guests that arrived later. And I happened to also run back into Ellie, and we stayed for a while because my friend actually had to leave early. It was a lot of fun. I got to chat with her a lot more. We stayed for like the trivia game. I got to chat and talk with Ellie about cosplay and stuff, more about the series, and we got to know each other more. At the end of the trivia game, me and Ellie went outside to find more food, but the food trucks were gone. All they had was ice cream. We then hung around the side of the church where we talked more, and we got to really know each other's like personalities. And that was also the time she had to part ways. It was really nice getting to know her, and we're actually friends now online. I know her on Discord. After that, I then went to throw out my ice cream cup, and I met another cosplayer who I saw at the costume parade, who made this really cool clay mask, and here's a picture of him with it. It was really fun talking to him. His name was Xavier, by the way, and I pretty much just stayed around with him and just chatted for a while about how he made the cool looking mask. He actually said that he made it a week before the fest, which was, honestly, it looked really good for that period of time of a con crunch. He said that he would have done more if he had the time. He showed me what it looked like in the inside. After that, I pretty much just parted ways with him. I forgot to mention, but I think this was also around the time that I started playing music from this thing, because I actually decided to put a Bluetooth speaker that I threw inside to the fuselage in there. I played some soundtracks from the fandom, obviously, because it's kind of strategic. This was pretty much like the end of the fest. Everybody started to leave. And it was probably like now like 3 or 4, and there wasn't really that much people. People were still taking pictures with Tui, the people that came later for the convention. But I did not really know what else to do, because this was pretty much like the end. There wasn't really anything else to do. I've already like checked out the whole place, and they already closed off like the main area of the chapel. So I was there, just walking around, and boy was I bored. I was able to run into Xavier a few times. I still kind of talked with him, and I got these nice pictures with him finally. But this was pretty much the end of the convention. I called my ride home, and that was pretty much it. I got all the things I wanted. I had such a really fun time. Huge shout out to Ellie and Xavier. You guys are awesome. You guys made the event way better for me. I do not know what I could have done without you guys. Huge shout out to my friend, too, Kyberkin. But that's pretty much my experience of how it was at Wings of Fire Fanwing Fest in the Twin Cities. Thank you guys so much for watching this little video. I'm planning to do more stuff with my face. Definitely going to be doing a lot more cosplay stuff, and also be updating you guys about the plans I have. It might have been a little bit weird watching me just yap about my experience with me showing my face. Just pretty much just wraps up the video. I don't really know what else to say. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff with this thing because this guy still needs a lot more repairs. How does it feel to be replaced? But I plan to do a lot more stuff, Wings of Fire. My next video I'm actually planning to do is an update video for Wings of Fire Beta. Drop any comments you guys like to say. I read all of them, mostly. And I'll see you guys soon.